Shalom, shalom. That's Brother Mac from GMS, Colorado, coming at you with a sit down. Slakia. Slack, if I sound a little funny, I recovering from a little sickness. Just gonna get started here. So first and foremost, would like to say all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. I'd like to give double honors unto the elders of GMS, who taught us this word in truth and sincerity, and who are the true leaders of Israel, whether you can accept that or not. I'd also like to give a deep shalom to the Akim, who are pushing this word in truth and sincerity around the four corners of the earth. And let's get into it here. So it's been this theme kind of lately that I've been noticing just in the nation amongst a lot of the brothers, and Esau is getting to the point, man, where the things that we are saying, videos that are simply fact, are starting to be viewed as hate. Brothers' videos are being taken down or censored because of the fact that we continue to tell you Edomites that you are the biblical Edomites, that you are, selected for destruction. You are the spirit and embodiment of the serpent of Satan, man. Okay, the things that you do on earth, the things that you've committed, the crimes that you've committed against the house of Jacob and the other nations. The Lord is through with you, man, and your time of rulership is coming to an end. Okay, it was spoken of even in Genesis that you would have this rulership, this time of rulership. And let's see if you were going to have a time of rulership, man, and then that rulership was going to be done, man, because Jacob gets the promise. Okay, he is the one who inherits the promise from Isaac and from Abraham, man. Okay, not Esau. Okay, so you converts, why we say that the Jewish converts or the people that are in the nation of Israel today, the guys who let's see, Salaki, I'm trying to make this thing go down. Salakia. Let's see if we can see these dudes we're just trying to see these guys here, why we say that they are the false people, why they have nothing to do. See, that even shows you that they're the Ashkenazi Jews, man. Okay, these people are not the chosen seed. Okay, they have nothing to do with the chosen seed or the Holy Land or anything, which is why we call them imposter Jews, man. Okay, and the reason we say that they're not the people is their heritage, their bloodline. It has nothing to do with Jacob, man. Okay, their line stems from Esau, who does not get the promise. All right, the promise I'm speaking of is mentioned repeatedly, man. It's mentioned repeatedly just in Genesis alone. They speak on this promise that Isaac and Jacob, Abraham receive. Countless times. I believe it's mentioned 6 or 7 times that I can think of alone just in Genesis. Where in chapter 25, where it speaks on the sons of Ishmael and Ishmael not being the son of promise. That's in chapter 21. They want to cast the bondwoman out and her son because they're not to receive the heir. Jacob gets the heir, or Jacob becomes the heir. Okay. And then we know essentially that Esau came out red. Okay, red all over like a hairy garment. And then you move forward from that. Goes on, which if you go to Genesis, I believe it's 32. It speaks on the nation of Edom, I believe. The generations of Edom, the sons of Edom. Okay, where they're spoken of, and it gives you the list of them, and they stem off and become their own line, but they don't have anything to do with the tribes of. They try to use their lineage through their mother, which is incorrect, because all of these examples of early rulership or how you pass down a mantle, it always comes through the father. Your mother has nothing to do with your lineage, which is why we say what we say. Okay. So with that being said, why Esau is upset, but whatever, man. Thou should have not have. I'm gonna start here. Just, this is why you Edomites gotta go anyway. Because now that the truth is being spoken about you, it's hate speech, and it's stuff that's not true, and whoop-de-whoop and this and that and the next thing. Get all that stuff right. So we're gonna start here. Get into these scriptures. It's First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1. Okay, and it happened after that. After that, Alexander, the son of Philip the Macedonian, came out of the land of Chetam, had smitten the king Darius, the king of the Persians and the Medes, in that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, his stead being the first of his stock to rule over Greece. Okay. So the man known as Alexander, all right, Alexander the Edomite, because he was an Edomite. Okay. Which the scripture makes it clear that Alexander was a descendant of Edom. Okay. And his empire later becomes the Roman Empire. Okay. The first over Greece, and had many wars, and won them in strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through the ends of the earth, and took spoils in many nations, in so much that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. Okay. And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years, and then died. Okay. And his servants bear rule, every one in his place. His brethren and his homeboys, of course, they rule in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, and so did their sons after many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth. And there came out of a wicked root of Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus, the king, who had been hostage at Rome. Okay, I'm gonna just stop there, because it just shows you that, first and foremost, it tells you that in that stanza there, in those scriptures, it tells you that Alexander was the first of his seed to rule, and that wickeds were multiplied in the earth because of this rulership. Okay, this was when Edom got dominion over the world. Okay, Edom got dominion over the world through Alexander the Great, which is why in America, it's Alexander the Great is hailed here, and he's hailed in history and in world history. When you learn, they essentially start world history, I believe, with the conquest of Alexander the Great. All the secular history and history prior to that is almost skipped past and skipped over, because Edom's ability to have pride in their heritage and their lineage, it starts at this point here. It doesn't start with Nimrod. Because if that's the case, why don't we start history with Nimrod? Why don't we speak about the nations of Ham and the generations that came out of the sons of Noah? Why don't we start to learn things at that point? Because Edom has nothing to do with that, and them being who they are, okay? They need the limelight. They need to be important. They have to have a stance over everybody and over everything. So when you start to learn history, I clearly remember starting to learn world history and starting with the rulership and conquest of Alexander the Great, as if nothing in the world important had happened before that. Okay, so that's the reason why we say the things we say about you Edomites, starting right there. Now we'll jump around a little bit. As the scripture says, here and there, here a little, there a little. We'll go to Job. And, we'll just go down to Job 9:24, man, where it simply reads, and this is Job 9:24, and it simply reads that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. And if not, where and who is he? Okay, so if you Edomites are not Edom, okay, as we have said so many times, Edom is who today is called the so-called white. And there is a thing called the confusion of face, so that you can have pale skin and still belong to another nation, or the nation of Israel for that matter. Okay, you can't just be an ignorant clown about this, man. You can't be an ignorant person who simply derives everything that has to do with the scriptures based off of color. Okay, or the shade of someone's skin. Because that's not what determines your culture, your heritage, your lineage. Okay, at all. But here the scripture clearly reads that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, and he covereth the faces of the judges thereof, and if not, where and who is he? Okay, and Esau did this during the Renaissance and while they had their time in rulership, with the whitewashing of history, the whitewashing of artifacts and art, simply knocking the noses off of sculptures and statues, disfiguring sculptures and statues, to make themselves, all the way up to the Renaissance. All the way through the Dark Ages, this occurred, and then when they went down during that period of time, which they try to say that there was no recorded history during the Dark Ages, which is absolute bullshit. It's the concept that Edom was in captivity during that time period and mostly utterly destroyed, and didn't have a whole lot of good things going on for them in general. So they would rather just say that that time period didn't exist. You Edomites are something else, man. The way that you try to pick and play with history, okay? No, you were in captivity. Jacob, the sons of Jacob did rule Europe and had you in captivity. Okay, if you were around, for that matter, the ones of you that were not, so say, in the cave, and then Edom being so prideful, being the prideful people that they are. They can't seem to grasp this concept either. This is Daniel 4:7. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth to whomsoever he will, and setteth up it, Salakia, and setteth up over it the basis of man. Okay, so the Most High is the one who determines who is in rulership, right? He determines who's in rulership. So, like we just read in Job, that the world was given into the hand of the wicked. The Most High gave Esau the rule. Okay, the Most High gave Esau rulership and the ability to rule over the nations, man. With with the sword, with that being their gift and their ability through the sword. They do what they do. Okay, through the Lord though, not through the fact that they just have their own power to do what they will with you. All right. The Lord gives them that ability, but that ability is being taken away, which is why Edom is starting to deal with Jacob the way that they are. Okay. They're starting to deal with Jacob with all this hostility because it's reached a point where they can't talk their way out of the trick bag, man. They can't talk their way out of this coming desolation, man. That's coming for the nation of Esau, because you played around and been in rulership and messed around, and now we understand. Now you want to say that everybody hates you and everybody's against you. No, man, you are against everybody else. Okay, you don't seem to understand that the Most High is the one who gave you the ability to be in rulership, and now that it's time for you to get out the seat, you're not going to go willfully. You are going to go kicking and screaming and taking as many other people with you as you can. It's in your spirit to do so. Okay. And this is just, you know what? I was going to get this, but I'm going to get something else at the moment. Salakia. Bear with me. I'm sorry. This is Exodus 21:16. He that stealeth a man and selleth him, or he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Okay, so Esau, this is a crime that your nation is guilty of, and this is one of many. But just to hammer home the point, man, that you've done this, you go to Deuteronomy 28:68, where where you came and you separated the families of Jacob, man. You came and you slaughtered and burned the temple. Okay. You Edomites are guilty of these crimes, man. So you have to pay. All right. And this is not hate speech. This isn't, me having a specific opinion about something or anything. This is what it is. The scriptures reads how it reads. We don't get to argue and change the rules. We got to rock with what we got to rock with. I'm looking for Salaki, bear with me. Chapter 3, Baruch, the book of Baruch, chapter 3. Con. Yeah. Make sure this is. I'll just start at 4 because I'm gonna wrap it up after this one here. Okay. So Almighty, O Yahweh Almighty, thou Yahweh of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites and of their children which have sinned before thee, and not hearken unto the voice of their Yahweh, for which caused these plagues to cleave unto us. All right. Remember not the iniquities of our forefathers, but think upon thy power and thy name now at this time. For thou art the Yahweh, And thee, O Yahweh, we will praise. For this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity, okay, which we are yet in. For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee, okay. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquity of our fathers, which departed from our Yahweh. Okay. So we as a people, this has happened to us, man. All right. How it happened, O Israel, Salaki, I jumped down to 10. Oh, I could read 9. Hear Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom. How hath it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land? Okay, we're here in America. We're there in Europe. We're in these places where Esau is colonized and collected Jacob to till and work the land, and now we're just stuck in these strange places. All right, Esau, you've done this. That are waxen old in a strange country. Okay, that art defiled with the dead, that art counted with them that go down to the grave, that has forsaken the fountain of wisdom. And that's the state of Israel, man. All due to what you Edomites have done. So when we come against you, when we say the things that we say about you, and you think that this is hate speech, what you have done is what hate is. Okay? You put our people into captivity, okay? Which was a captivity that the Lord said that we deserved, but you did go overboard, and you did try to wipe out the nation of Israel, and you did try you've done the things that you've done to us, and the way that you've kept us down, even the years after our captivity, and the segregation that we still have to deal with, and the hatred that we still have to deal with to this day. The hell with you Edomites, man. And yes, the whole world does hate you, but it's for these things, it's for these crimes that you've committed. The so-called white man is the most hated person on the planet for this reason. This isn't my opinion. This isn't my thought process. This is the scripture. This is the way that the book reads. This is the way that it is. And once you read this enough, once you understand what the book says, there's a lot of hatred in it. And if you can't understand that, then the book's not for you. And that's not an issue either. The Lord's going to kill you or deal with you how he's going to deal with you, one way or the other. With that being said, I hope that this was edifying. Until next time, I want to say first and foremost, all praises unto Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the elders of GMS. Shalom to all the Akim who are pushing this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom, brothers. Continue to push.